Welcome to another episode on Novels by Kingg, an audiobook series. Subscribe to the channel, Novels by Kingg, and check out the website, kingdouble.com. That's KINGGDOUBLE.com. We present to you today the audiobook series, Double Cross, Novels by Kingg. Enjoy the show. Double Cross, novel by Kingg, Chapter 4, 5 years later. Open cell block B95. Mr. Lewis, your day has come. I've been waiting on this day for 1,800 nights. You damn right my day has come. I'm out of this shit. State your name and DC number for your release. Lewis, Cypress, 124056 Black Mountain, sir. Okay, Mr. Lewis, you're all set. Grab your stuff and let me walk you to the gate. Your paperwork has already been processed. In about 20 minutes, you'll be a free man for however long you can stay that way. Should we keep your bed warm for you? You know you'll be back. This is the revolving door of your life. Fuck you, I'm never coming back to this shit. I have big plans. What big plans? You must be trying to graduate to our federal penitentiary. Yeah, whatever you say, sir. Just do your job and release me. Cypress Lewis was released from prison, a free and happy man. He had $100 and a bus ticket. His bus ride was crowded with all types of people. Cypress had not seen that many people in years. The women were all beautiful to him. Even the ugly women were beautiful. He had found a new appreciation for the human female species. They were all beautiful in everything they did. It was amazing to him. He could not help but to stare at the young lady in the seat in front of him. She was wearing an all-white halter top, showing her slim stomach and perfect belly button, curving down to her thick thighs, squeezing through her white leggings, with white sandals and red toenail polish, waving back and forth, forth and forth. He was hypnotized. She was sitting directly across from him, texting on her phone. She never once looked up. She never once acknowledged him staring at her. She smelled so good to him. He inhaled deeply and smiled. He was happy to have his freedom back. Women. He was reckless, eyeballing every female that he saw. One woman looked at him and shook her head when she saw his very hard boner. She quickly turned away and never looked back. He did not know if they had all noticed his excitement. They probably did. He didn't care. He could not help himself. He was finally back in the free world. This alone could have a grown man excited. He knew he needed some pussy. But first, he had to check on home plate. If everything went well, he'll find everything he was looking for right at his own house. He was excited to be headed home to his family and his bag of diamonds. It bothered him that he's not spoken to his girlfriend or his co-workers in 5 years. Did the feds get him? Were they doing time also? He didn't know. He wondered if Rosita was still at the new house. Did she wait for him? So many thoughts were running through his free mind. The trees were even amazing to him. The world was so green and blue and bright and full of life. This was freedom. He was enjoying every millisecond that passed by. When he arrived by the street of his house, he stopped in his tracks. He saw a cop car in the yard of his home. Taking caution, he paused and sat around the corner watching his house. A lady and a male ununiformed officer talked in front of his driveway. The couple was enjoying each other's company. They were probably lovers or close family friends. Cypress did not really care. He wondered who these people were at his house. Are these detectives here to pick him up again? Cypress panicked and quickly walked the other way. While walking around the neighborhood, contemplating on going back to his house, he was curious to know why they were there. What the fuck, he gasped. Turning on the next street, he jumped into the backyard and watched his house from the side of the bushes. While staring at his house, he had a flashback of him and his girl Rosita. He could remember her smile when she looked at him. He remembered their happiest moments. Honey, I can't believe it. You bought us a house. Believe it, baby. Daddy bought his sugar bunny a huge dollhouse. We could have a few mini-me's running around. His memory quickly flashed out. Cypress spent too much time daydreaming in the pen. Dream time was over. He was finally awake and stalking his old house. It looked different. New paint and flowers planted. It was his house, all right, but it looked more homely and cozy. He hoped the inside was not changed as much as the outside was. He hoped that the wall was still up, still holding his stash inside. He was concerned about why the police was in his front lawn. Who was that lady standing next to the cop in the pink robe? Probably his wife. He could tell he was a cop from his shoulder holster and badge on his belt. Plus, he stood like a cop. He was probably interrogating the woman. Nah, they were being too friendly. They were definitely a couple. He did not recognize her. She looked like a middle-class housewife. She was most definitely not a cop. He did not want to risk anything crazy, so he walked down the street to the local library. Doing a check on his property, he finds out that he lost his house 3 years ago. It was sold in a foreclosure auction to a Detective Marcus Whitehead a year later. Detective Marcus Whitehead was recently married and the house was his newlywed's wedding gift, meaning the cop and the lady he saw had probably been living in the house for the last few years or so. Cypress wondered if his diamonds were still in the house. It has to be. It better be. It was never recovered in the bust. It must be there. He depended on these diamonds to jumpstart his new life. He planned on going inside the house that night. Cop or no cop, he wanted his diamonds. He dreamed about the diamonds every night inside that 6x9 cell. He knew from the other inmates that his bag of glass was worth $25 million. No one was going to stop him from getting his bag back. He also did a check on his girl Rosita. There was no record of her anywhere. Only El Rosita's jewelry shop. He knew that wasn't her. She had no record anywhere. Probably a good thing. At least he knew she stayed out of trouble. But where was she? He wondered what had happened to her. Why didn't she write him? Did she up and leave him like most women do incarcerated men? Did she ever have his child? He was thinking about checking her mother's house to see if she was there. Hopefully, he could get some answers. He knew her mother was never fond of him, but that mean old lady stood about as tall as a young average middle school student, but had a temper and an attitude bigger than the angry David Banner. Her face would literally turn green when she looked at Cypress. It was no secret she hated him. You could see it from the squinting of her beady little evil eyes. Lil' mama always told Rosita that Cypress was a no-good bastard. She could do better. Lil' mama never trusted him. She had seen his kind before. Her first husband reminded her of him. A crook. A lying, stealing crook. He was never going to get a real respectable job. No, he would rather steal and lie. Those was once her exact words. She thought Cypress was stealing. She never caught Cypress stealing, but she knew his kind. She was even madder at the fact that this fool she instinctively hated so much had stolen her precious baby daughter's heart. She hated him just as much as she hated her ex-husband. Cypress was no fool. He knew better than to be popping up at Lil' Mama's house after dark. She might shoot him just because he was him. Plus, it was over 5 years since she saw him. It might bring an uncomfortable surprise. It was almost nighttime. He only had an hour or so before it was completely dark outside. He decided to wait on the diamonds and head over there.
Stop requested.
Oh well, it was dusk when he arrived. No turning around now. He wanted to know what was going on in his absence. It was still early in the afternoon, but the sun was down. He approached the old lady's house with severe caution. He did not want to catch a bullet from this grumpy old lady's shotgun. Damn gun was bigger than her, but she knew how to accurately bust a cap in a nigga's ass if she needed to. Hello, may I help you? Yes, ma'am. I'm looking for Rosita. She is not here. May I ask who's stopping by? Hello, Lil' Mama? It's me, Cypress. I was hoping that I could find Rosita here. Could you tell her I stopped by? Cypress? Boy, I thought you were dead. At least that's what my daughter told me. Child. She looked him up and down in disgust, then continued to talk. Well, she's not here, and she don't stay here either. And I would appreciate if you don't come back around here anymore, okay? Sorry for intruding on you like that, Lil' Mama. I was just in the area and I wanted to see if I could catch up with her. Boy, what do you want? Do not come around my house to bother that girl. She moved out over a year ago. My baby is married now. She has a good paying job. She does not need the devil coming back in her life trying to destroy her happiness. Could you tell her I stopped by? This is my number. She could reach me. Yeah, okay, boy. Bye. She slammed the door and ripped up the paper with his number, throwing it in the nearby trash can. He has a lot of nerve coming around here. Damn heathen. Double Cross, novel by Kingg.